Welcome back. The show is called Brand Equity and I'm Sonali Krishna. Now, he's responsible for driving integrated sales and marketing strategies for PepsiCo's global customers and leading its international marketing agenda for beverages and foods. What is also unique about his portfolio is that he's in charge of both the marketing and sales function, a really rare combination. I caught up with the PepsiCo Global CMO Salman Amin on PepsiCo's mission, challenges in encouraging customers to make healthy choices, social media, and the changing face of marketing. So, some very interesting news from Pepsi last week, and I want to really discuss that partnership first. The world-renowned chef, the Spanish chef, Ferran Adrià, I believe, is going to be joining you. And if you can throw some light on what that partnership is and what is the kind of R&D you're making him do?
You know, we are very privileged to have been working with Ferran Adrià actually since about 2004, 2005.
Right.
That's when we first started working with him. And in our Southern European business, particularly in places like Spain, he's already been a wonderful partner to us. We were able to launch a whole line of very artisanal potato chips. We were able to launch a line of potato chips that were cooked in olive oil. And then his expertise in helping us understand which flavors we should be launching has been invaluable. But even more than that, this man is a creative genius. So now that he's looking to close his restaurant, which is only a few weeks away, he's planning to reopen it as a foundation sometime in 2012. We wanted to make sure that we have the privilege of continuing to work with Ferran and to be able to partner with him on creative ideas, because he has his pulse on the future of food, how the cuisines are changing around the world, how tastes are changing, and we expect that by continuing to work very closely with him, he'll be able to provide us those insights that we need to deliver products that remain very, very relevant, if not at the cutting edge of food products in the world.
When you call it a partnership, who will own the IPR of whatever new that comes out of this partnership?
We already have a partnership where we are working. It's something that we are compensating the Ferran for. We work with them very closely on this. So this is something, these ideas that as they come out of it will be owned by PepsiCo.
You've unleashed a host of new flavors, new experiments with your foods in the last few years. How do you decide which flavor will work in which market?
Yeah, that's a terrific question. We've been doing this for many, many years. You know, we started to take our snacks business global around 14, 15 years ago. And in every one of our markets, there's a few things we make sure we have in order to understand what will work best. First, in virtually every one of our markets, we have a highly local team. People who understand the local culture, who understand the local foods. Back in 2000, 2001, we created a program called MasterChef, where we went around to a number of countries around the world, including India, and partnered with a number of different chefs in India to say, help us translate some of your authentic food recipes into flavors that we can then launch onto our products. And so we've been going through this process for many, many years, and we've built a very good internal understanding of which flavors will carry in which countries. So we've created this map of flavor understanding literally around the world, which we then bring these ideas to. And then we go into the local countries and we do extensive taste testing to understand whether A, they're interesting flavors, and B, whether these are flavors that will stand the test of time in that country.
I'd now like to talk about the Pepsi Refresh project. I believe I want to know how it was conceptualized, how well it did for you in the West, and your plans about bringing it to Asia and, more importantly, India.
Right. So Pepsi Refresh was a natural outgrowth of Performance with Purpose.
Right.
Because what we understood in the US was that our consumers wanted brands to be more than just brands. They wanted them to play a meaningful role in their lives and to be a part of the causes that they care about. So with Refresh, we gave people an opportunity to say, look, tell us what are your causes and beliefs that you're passionate about, put them up there, give us those ideas, and then we let everyone vote on them. And guess what? We're going to give away money to the causes that attract the most votes. And we'll help you support that by putting it out there. And there's nothing more democratic than following a process like that. And it's been a program that, frankly, from a cause perspective, from a brand perspective, has worked incredibly well for us. It allowed us to engage with our consumers in a way that we've never done before. Just to give you a couple of statistics, about 76 million votes in 2010 were cast for this program, which is more than what were cast for the US presidential elections.
Right.
We have close to 4 million followers just on this program on Twitter alone. And as a result of 1,000 ideas were funded by us last year out of many, many more that were submitted. And it's just been terrific for us. And we've given away $20 million in 2010 to support those programs.
And your Asia plans?
And so now we are looking to see how do we now translate that for the different requirements of each of the Asian countries, because the way we ran it in the US doesn't necessarily work in other countries, in any one country. So we are working through that. How would we do it? What would be the causes that would be supported? What learnings have we had from our US program? And how do we now move that forward?
Globally, how would you evaluate the rise of private labels? How do you think they've been performing, and how do you see their growth in the future?
So I think they've performed differently in different countries. In most of the West, private label brands are a force to be reckoned with, and we've competed with them very successfully for a long time now. And the reality is, in order to make sure that you're competing well and you continue to grow in a private label environment, you have to make sure your innovation is first rate and that your brands continue to strike a chord with consumers.
Right.
And we've managed to do that pretty well in most of the world that we've competed in, whether it's on the beverage side or the snack side of the business.
But would you consider being a manufacturer to a large retailer who would want to, launch his own private label?
No, we are not in the business of doing that. We are a brand owner. We are a house of brands. And the reality is, we have terrific partnerships with the retailers, because at the end of the day, retailers make money on our brands, and they make money on whatever brands they may choose to launch under their own banners as well. So I think it's, by and large, generally a pretty happy coexistence, because we know what we need to do to continue growing for our consumers.
There's this whole health wave that's hit the West, also across different markets. So I know you have a very good health portfolio that you're also developing, and it's in the process. But isn't it a bit odd, because your core product is Pepsi, which is not a health drink, and you have this health and nutrition portfolio, and so doesn't it cannibalize from that, and doesn't it somewhere take away from your core product, that is Pepsi?
Well, no, I think the philosophy we have is one of balance. People like fun-for-you products. People like treats in their lives every now and then. And for them, we have a range of products. At the same time, we've announced very publicly about a year ago our commitment to building a fundamentally good-for-you nutrition-based portfolio. We followed that up with the announcement that we were reorganizing the company about 6 months ago to create a global nutrition group. We followed through with that. And the job of that team is entirely to build an innovation stream that's focused on brands like Quaker, which is all about grains and oats, and brands like Tropicana, which is all about fruits. So you'll be seeing a lot of work coming out from that team in the months and years to come, because we've stated pretty publicly our commitment that what for us is already about a $10 billion business of good-for-you products, we hope that we'll be able to almost triple that over the next decade or so.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amin. Truly a pleasure to have you on Brand Equity.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Time to get commercial, but you stay right there. As coming up, we bring you some of the best global case studies in the digital domain.